Well, good morning, gamers. Yeah, I know. I understand. It's good morning, gamers, but it's not morning. But it's morning somewhere, and it's always a state of mind. I was going to do it. Doesn't matter. Welcome to the show. Been away for about a week dealing with a move. Let me put myself on the screen so I can see you beautiful people. There you are. Welcome to the show, folks. This is Good Morning Gamers. Why is it not called Gabbing and Games, you may ask? I don't know. Because there's a little bit of a different format. We'll figure out as we go. Who knows? The point is we're going to be doing more live streams on the channel again and more videos now that we have moved. We needed a little bit of a bigger space, and so now we are all mostly settled in. The place is still a mess, but it's good to be back with you guys. It's good to see everybody. I will tell you, we have a show today. We're going to talk about some news that came out about PlayStation that starts to bring into focus what I think their plans are, which, you know, as somebody who likes a good amount, but not all, but, 50-50 on their first party as of late, I'm pretty excited by what I think is happening. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about this batshit but fascinating, obviously knee-jerk reaction from Eurogamer to Arc Raiders, which is very strange, but at the same time, when you really parse it and think about it, I don't know, maybe the guy's got a point. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about new games coming out. We got a lot going on. I do want to talk about sort of how I'm feeling in a few minutes about the holidays. But first, let me say hello to our very own Anna G. Good to see you, Anna G. Good to see you, mass-produced Silverback, Zeke, and Lolcow Illuminati. I want to do a quick test on this. I'm supposed to be able to, let's see. I don't know how to do this. Let's see. I have the thing that lets me bring up your chat now, but I don't know because I'm doing on a different service. But refresh of current page, maybe. Read access. Advanced access. Full access. Go ahead. Just do it. Just fucking do it. All right. Hey, hello, Kiki Plays. Good to see you, buddy. I'm just trying to figure out how to bring up your chats on the thing, but I'll figure it out next time. Okay. Regardless, though, yeah, good to see everybody. Rocker Matt, there are Twisted Metal videos coming very, very soon. I saw a great article on GameSpot today about the 30th anniversary of Twisted Metal. It is, I will say, a lot of people know me and come at me from the God of War angle because it was a much bigger title, but it really is quite cool to see a lot of love that Twisted Metal is getting at 30 years old. I can't believe it's been 30 years, but there we are. That's pretty exciting to me. I love it. Arcade Heroes, thank you for subbing. Good to see you, sir. I'm very, very excited, and I saw this article the other day about the guy, one of the key guys who designed, what's that game called? The fucking GTA ripoff that was really good, Saints Row. And he did the first couple of Saints Rows, and obviously the new Saints Row was not well received. I actually enjoyed it for what it was, but I've never been a big Saints Row guy, so it didn't have to do much for me other than give me a kind of batshit over the top sandbox, which it did. But anyway, he has said that he has been asked to pitch a new Saints Row. And it just got me thinking, like, people ask me all the time, like, I would not want to go back into development and build a company and all that shit. I've done that. It's exhausting, but I will tell you this. If Sony ever did reach out and say, hey, Jaffe, we'd love to hear your ideas for a new Twisted Metal game, I definitely, finally, I think I cracked the nut. We've talked about this on the show before, but for the longest time, I'm like, I just have nothing else to say in that area. I think it's done. I don't think you can just do a straight up car combat game. But now, with a couple of new ideas, I certainly would love to at least just, write up my thoughts and see a prototype made, because I think it could be really cool. But yeah, 30th anniversary, pretty amazing that it's still chugging along. A lot of cool merch coming out for it. The show is doing well. I don't think they've announced if it got a third season yet, but I have to assume it will, because I think the second did better than the first. I'm not sure about that, just based on how the internet's talking about it, but we'll see. But yeah, that's super, super exciting. I will also say, though, that people say, I've seen this, whenever I get a bunch of haters coming at me, and this weekend I did. I'm not going to get into that unless you guys want to talk about that, but where they have this misconception that I was fired from Sony or I've been blackballed in the industry. I made not a very expensive, but I made a failure, so certainly that's not going to be at the top of my resume if I was, but a lot of people have worked on failures. A lot of people have worked on games that didn't ship at all, and they're still working. So there's been absolutely never anything, but other than with some of the Sony PR people, which I can't stand, there's never been anything negative with the Sony people and in either direction. So I'm not sure where they're getting that from. So, hey, Sony, if you're watching, I know some of you do, if you want a Twisted Metal design doc, and a prototype, let me know. Okay. All right. Welcome to the show. Ewan Goodrich, he was the design director on Vigilante 8, says Rocker Matt should kickstart a spiritual successor to Twisted Metal and Vigilante 8. I just don't know, man. Vigilante 8 was a very different video game. I loved the graphics, and I loved how the levels in that game looked a lot more realistic than in our game, but it was very different, and I don't think just because they're both car combat games, I don't think those would merge together very, very well. Anyway, let's see what's going on today. Where did this go? Here we go. So I have the Nintendo Holiday Gift Guide up because, it's probably just the commercialism of it, but Christmas seems everywhere already. And I know that's not like I'm not making any wise observation, but usually there's a few weeks before Thanksgiving. I guess that's where we are, but you would see a lead up, but it seems like all the companies are already putting out their holiday guides and celebrating Christmas, and it's getting cold here in San Diego, which I love, or cold for San Diego anyway. We're supposed to get rain and wind, and the coffee's great and blah, blah, blah. And so I'm getting in the Christmas cozy season. We moved. The new place is much, much cozier, much more Christmassy. I don't know. I was a Jewish kid who was I was raised Jewish, but I was agnostic when I was like 5 years old. And I haven't changed since. So I never got the big Christmas thing. So I probably am, I always blow it up bigger than it maybe really is. But I love it. I love the season. And so I'm excited. And I go to the holiday gift guide on the Nintendo page because that's kind of the first one to hit. There's my gaming tradition wise, I love the holiday gift guides you get to see. And I love the developer and publisher cards that come out. I just love looking at those when they drop those around the 23rd, 24th of December. So we'll be talking about those as we get closer. But what I noticed in going through this, and I don't have a Switch 2 yet. I haven't really had a desire to buy one. But if you look at Xbox, if you look at PlayStation, both are fine. I barely play them anymore. I'm always playing PC stuff, and even if I'm playing first-party Xbox stuff, I'm playing it on Game Pass Ultimate. But this, looking at their holiday gift guide, though, you got to give props to Nintendo. It feels like an old-fashioned console. Like, it as much as all the changes are happening, and I think they're very, cool changes and positive changes that the industry's rolling out, Nintendo just look at this website. You've had 7 or 8 brand new big games in less than a year for this system. Mario Kart World, Super Mario Party Jamboree, Bonanza, the new Pokemon. Hyrule Warriors is kind of a B title, but it's still up there. Kirby Air Riders, and then Metroid is coming. Not to mention all the kind of smaller things, right? And you can only play these on your Switch. It actually does make me feel like, when you were younger, either when I was a young adult or a kid back in the Atari days, and it's like, I could see this being an amazing gift to give and to get this year. I still don't quite feel the urge because none of the first-party games are exciting enough to me to make me, pull away from what I'm already playing or what I plan on playing. So it'll probably be a Zelda or maybe a Mario, but a new Zelda will probably be what causes me to pull the trigger on this, I would imagine. But it's still cool to see. It's exciting to see. I tell you this, though. Listen to this for a minute. So you get older, and you remember probably when you were kids, and you would ask your parents, well, what do you want for Christmas? What do you want for Hanukkah? What do you want for your birthday? And they would say things, at least my parents would, and I assume most parents are like this. They would say things like, well, I don't really need anything, and, make me something. And as a kid, you're like, oh, that's dumb. You don't want me to make you anything. You want me to buy you something cool, because you thought like a kid. But when we were... we were talking about it, I don't know what the fuck that was. Somebody just did something. When we were talking about it the other day, with like, what do we want to get each other for the holidays and stuff? I told my kids, I said, look, you know, I know this is going to sound so stupid, but I have been reading so much more this year. And I said, you know what? And I use like little scraps of paper for bookmarks and stuff. And I said, you know what would be great? What I would really love is each of you guys to make me a custom bookmark and have it laminated. Make it whatever you want. I will keep that till my end of days, and I will use that when I read. Like, I would much rather have that for my kids than like a brand new TV or something. It would just be, I don't know. I can buy my own fucking TV, you know. There is still a desire, of course. There's a desire to, you know, consume because that's where we live and everything. But there are a couple of things I'll show you that, you know, because I know you're thinking about, you know, well, what do we get Jaffe? And I get it. Oh, I get it. Let me see if I can change this tab real quick. Hang on. There are some cool things that are out there. I'm just going to have to make the screen small. Sorry. I don't know if you guys have seen this, man. We're going to get into video games just a second. But the Lego, there's a couple Legos that are, I'm not a huge Lego guy, but this is the Goonies ship. I was talking to Gene about this the other day. It's like $330, but look at this fucking, I mean, the cross section of this. If you liked the Goonies, and I was a big Goonies fan, so you can actually kind of peek inside. There's all these cool traps. All the characters are there. You've got a lot of interactive parts, like you can play the organ and the floor drops out and everything. It's pretty fucking cool. So I'm you know, I'm not opposed. I'm not opposed to the goddamn Goonies set. And another one that they just announced, and this one's more expensive, is the Star Trek Next Gen set, which I think is fucking gorgeous. I'm bothered that you can't lift off the saucer lid and see inside or see the bridge or anything. It's just the exterior, it looks like. But I'm such a Star Trek Next Gen nerd that I kind of don't care. But this is, I think this one's like $400. Is that right? This is like, $399 coming out the end of this month. So there are still some things, but I'd still rather have, I'd still rather have bookmarks, you know, for my kids and anyway. But from you, this is, you know, you can, this is what I'm thinking. And let me know. I am curious. I know, you know, look, I'm curious if you're like, okay, yeah, Jaffe, that's great for you, but here's what I want for Christmas as it relates to gaming. What do you think? Not the hot gift, the gift that you would appreciate that's video game centric. Is it a specific game? Is it a new system? Do you want the ROG Ally? What are you considering? What are you hoping you get in under the tree? PG says the only game that interests me on the Switch 2 is the new Metroid. Anything else doesn't catch my eye. Yeah, and since, I mean, I've never had a problem with Metroid. I like it. I didn't love Metroid Dread for various reasons, or at least I didn't play it enough to know if I loved it, but I was turned off by things. So I didn't keep playing it. But I'm not I like Metroid, but nothing I've seen in the trailers makes me go, I want to play that game. My guess would be, if you're already a Metroid fan, of course. But just as a straight up game, if you're just looking at it like that, for me, I didn't get the big deal other than the IP that's attached to it. And then, Prince Green says, cool new format, Jaffe, still miss your old brick background. I might do that again. I mean, there is a brick background that I could take the green screen down. As I started to set that up, I just started to go, I'm kind of tired of it, you know, and this whole room is covered in green screen, so I can get up and walk around. Not that I plan on doing any of that, but I kind of enjoy that freedom this size gives me. Mickey Doe says the vinyl record for Claire Obscura 33 would be perfect. Great gift. Donkey Kong Bonanza is worth the purchase, says Sonic, of a spanking brand new Switch 2. Yeah, I hear it's amazing. PG says, Jaffe, can you get me a new PC? I'll see what I can do, pal. To show Jaffe we like this content, says Anna, send a Ducket membership or even just like the stream. You goddamn right. I'll tell you something else. We're going to try something today. YouTube is just set up. We are going to turn on the phone today. We're going to take your calls today. I want to check something real quick and make sure I can do it. Let me just see if I know where to set this thing up. Unlist. There is a point later in the show that we are going to switch over to members only stuff, but I don't know. I think I have that function. In fact, I think I know I have that function. Hang on. Yeah, so we're going to switch to, not now, but we're going to go through the show, but then we've got a bunch of stuff coming up on the flip side that I want to tell you about that's coming up for the members only. But we'll get to that in just a second. So if you have been considering a membership, now it would be the time to pony up some ducats, support the stream, support the channel. We would very much appreciate it. Okay. I have not played. Speaking of which, says Silverback, have you played Expedition 33? No, it was on my list, and I was going to start playing it, and that's my next big game I'm going to play. But right now I'm playing a shit ton of Arc Raiders, which we'll talk about in just a little bit. I did not expect to fall in love with that game. It's not my kind of game, but it's pretty delightful. Let me ask you one more quick holiday question. You guys have seen this movie, 8-Bit Christmas? I don't know. I'm not saying it's a great movie. It's barely even a good movie. But I kind of expected this to be a bigger deal amongst gamers, and I never hear anyone talk about it. It's basically taking the Christmas Story format, but it's setting it in the late 80s, and it's on HBO, and it's about a kid. It's about a dad in modern times telling his kids that when he was a teenager or a kid in the 80s, he was trying everything he could to get an NES. I'll show you like a minute of the trailer just because you may not have seen it, but I just kind of assumed this would have been a bigger deal. But apparently, I don't know, fellas, not so much. Not so much. Here we go. This is 8-Bit Christmas. It's available now. You never heard of it. Yeah, maybe I need to put it on Discord for a members night, but here you go.
No way.
Did you guys hear in the reselling contest? First prize is a brand new Nintendo Entertainment System.
I'm gonna kill you!
Hold on.
There are no rules. That Nintendo's mine.
What do you want?
Wanna buy a wreath?
Ma! This kid thinks your wreath sucks!
Video games have been doing all kinds of strange things to children.
What?
It was the 80s. Stuff got real.
Red Dog, this is Bluebird.
This is Rainbow 1.
What happened to Red Dog?
I changed it.
Well, let's change names now. This is Millennium Falcon, super cool.
Woo! Love it.
Rated PG.
It's good. It's a good show or a good movie. Yeah, when's the Xbox movie? I don't know. I just assumed that this would have done better, or people would have talked about it. But maybe like I said, I'll put it on the show for on the Discord. We'll do a movie night with it. But it's a fun geeky video game kind of thing. Okay, let's move on. It's a shut up, Addie Pie. DEI movie. What are you talking about? You fucking moron. Here's what I was going to tell you though. So with members today, in the members only section of this stream, which will come later on after we get through the news and talking in the phone calls, there are two things we're going to do. We're going to look at some new trailers, but we're also going to do two things. We're going to play two games. One is this one. I'll just show you the trailer. I bought it. I own it. It's installed. I haven't even booted it up. I figured, fuck it, I'll wait till you fine gentlemen and gentle ladies show up, and we would do it together as pals do. But here you go. This is called Giantess Playground, and it's out now. And here's the 2-minute trailer. It's exactly what it looks like. It's Rampage with a giantess woman. And I think you can also play from the perspective of the people as well. Come on now. Come on now. That's awesome. That's awesome. What a delightful game. Did Nintendo get paid? I honestly don't know. I mean, I don't know if you have to pay someone for something like that. Because there's product placement stuff, but there's also sort of, if it's germane to the story, I don't know. Does she fart? I don't know. Maybe. I haven't played it yet. I just picked it up. It may be. It's got to be terrible. I mean, it's early access, obviously, but it's got to be. I'm not playing it yet, Richard Nasty. I'll be playing it at the end of the show in the members part of the stream. I don't think it's an X-rated game though, and I do think there's a VR mod.
渺小、可怜又卑微的东西。
I mean, you know. Let's change the costume, lady. Come on. I mean, for all I know, it's just a sandbox at the moment. I don't know if there's much more to do. God knows, I paid $20 for it, so there better be something to do. Can you make her fall? Again, we'll find out together, Addie Pie. I have no idea.
你们这些胆大包天的小虫子，竟敢攻击本小姐！
I don't know what she's saying. All right, there you go. That is called Giantess Playground, and it's out. And I will be playing it in the members only section of the stream in about an hour. If you want to be there, become a member, and it'll just be an automatic flop over. But for now, we're staying with the Gin Pop. But the other thing I wanted to tell you, when the members only stream starts, I'm going to do 3 to 4 runs with members of Arc Raiders if you have it. Boy, this game has delighted me. It wasn't really on my radar. I'm not a big extraction guy, mostly because I've never really spent much time with extraction games. So but there have been so many things said about it that we'll talk about a little bit later in the show that I wanted to try it. It's a $40 game. And boy, it is really good, really well done. It is a lot of fucking fun. So if you want to play with us today, and you have the game and you're a member, I will be playing with members, doing, like I said, 3 to 4 runs. I'm not great. I'm only level 8, so don't expect me to come to your fucking aid. I'll be the one that you have to, revive. But it's good stuff. So that's what's up in the members only section of the stream later today. But for now, let's talk about video games, man. Let's talk about the news. State of Play tomorrow. We will be streaming it on this very channel. The big news here. Now, this is coming tomorrow, and it's basically all of the games from Asia. So it's Asia-centric of what they're working on, which means I guess we'll see some of the China Hero Project, which includes that game I made a video about last week that's kind of, to me, looks like the real next-gen God of War. It feels like a God of War game. But the other rumor is, and it's pretty verified at this point, that we will be seeing the first official footage of Horizon, the Monster Hunter version of Horizon. I don't mean Monster Hunter licensed. I mean, there is a service-based Monster Hunter game. No, let me do it again. There's a service-based Horizon game coming from First Party, and it is, from what people have seen this video, they're saying it's pretty much built on the template of a Monster Hunter game. Is that going to be good? Is it going to be shit? I couldn't tell you. But we'll see. So that's probably going to be the big close tomorrow. Contact says a lot of hack and slash games with sparkly powers I'll pass. Well, again, I am with you 100% on seeing a bunch of the games from Asia lately, and they all kind of feel like Souls games. That I'm right there with you. But if you've seen the trailer for the game we're talking about, which I don't even remember the name, it's a weird fucking name. It doesn't feel like that. It feels like Prince of Persia, God of War, but on massive next-gen steroids, is what at least it looks like to me. But maybe we'll see tomorrow. We'll get a little bit better insight and understanding of what those games are. As for Horizon multiplayer, I can tell you I don't really give a shit. My understanding is Monster Hunter, the new one, Worlds, has not been that well received. People have been like, well, it's buggy, it's problematic, this, that, and the other. So maybe this is releasing at a good time to fill a gap. But I don't give a fuck about Horizon or Monster Hunter. Now, if they can... Now, here's the thing. I want to get back to Arc Raiders in a second. But if these guys are able... if these guys are able to do what Blizzard used to do, where they took something that was popular but complicated and simplify it, that's a little bit different. If they can, because I like Monster Hunter, but it's just too much. It's just like, leave me the fuck alone. I have things to do, right? It demands too much of my time. If they basically look at the Monster Hunter formula and say, we're going to do that with Horizon, but we're going to Blizzard it, I think that's what a lot of people are saying Arc Raiders is with the extraction. Like if you look at Tarkov, for example, which I've never even played, but apparently the games are similar, but Arc Raiders is just a lot more inviting. The onboarding is easier. It's a more friendly take on that template, on that genre. So maybe if that's what they're doing, this could be something special, and maybe it could be, another big service-based game that Sony obviously needs. I agree, Eddie Torres. As Eddie T says, Horizon's a terrible IP. They made robot dinosaurs boring. The other reason this could be interesting is the reason the reason Horizon is disliked by the people who dislike it is because they're trying to shove this story and this character that most people are like, down your throat. But the world, I think everybody feels the world, the cavemen basically versus dinosaurs, and the graphics and stuff are awesome. So I'm assuming you'll be able to create your own character, and the main Alloy, whatever the fuck her name is just sort of like, characters out there in the world and the lore, but you're not really playing her. So it could kind of deal with one of the reasons that Horizon, I think, I agree with you, it's a terrible IP. Hay says, is Monster Hunter complicated? I don't mean complicated in regards to being like you're playing, chess for the first time. I mean, there's just a lot of management. There's a lot of collecting things and crafting things and going back to the town and talking to people. And it's like, what you really want to do is just fucking go out and fight the fucking monsters. And I think a streamlined version of that, there was a game EA put out about 3 years ago, which I thought was great, but it collapsed. I think it was called Wild Hearts or Wild at Heart or something like that. And that was, that was a lot better for me, but obviously it didn't connect. It kind of crashed and burned. But I agree with Sonic. It's boring. Mass Produce says, what are you talking about? Horizon's fire. Well, again, it's subjective. I mean, if you enjoy it, that's great. Sonic says, isn't Monster Hunter the most solid game of the year and sitting at an 88? I don't know if it's the most solid. I know there have been people in this chat over the past 6 months who have bitched about all of the bugs in Monster Hunter and just how unstable it is. So I'm not saying it's not good, and they're not saying it's not good. They're saying it's fundamentally broken in so many areas that they are kind of pissed about it. That's me repeating their data. I couldn't tell you. Okay. Look at this. Let's get into Sony a little bit. I think I'm starting. Well, look at that. Look at that. Anna G, thank you so much, buddy. That is very generous of you, Miss Anna G. We appreciate that. Anna G has just gifted Joker, Cullen Prime, Marble Rye, Aaron, and PG members to the Diet Soda Soldiers. That means that you'll be able to stick around for the after show coming up in just a minute. I don't know why he's coming out. This character should not be coming out, but there we go. And you'll also be able to stick around and play Arc Raiders, watch trailers with us, and play the Giantess game if you're interested. But thank you, Anna G. I appreciate that very, very much. Okay, now, I think I'm starting to get a sense of what PlayStation's plans are when it comes to next gen. And here's what I think it is. I got to get that little blinking sound going away, but thank you for that. Okay, so he's going to do it again. Why has he got to make a sound? Don't make a sound. I turned off the volume. He's going to do it again. Anyway. Okay, so I'm going to put all these little pieces together. There's a couple pieces we're going to put together. Simple puzzle. But this was rumored. But now it sounds like this has been, it hasn't been confirmed that, like, Sony hasn't come out and talked about it, but this was not like somebody made up their own fucking thing, right? This was a real thing that was seen on their website. I don't know if it's still up there, but it basically says CROSSBUY, PS5 and PC. And there's a couple things that you can take from this. Like, what does that actually mean, right? I mean, the first thing you could take is obviously, well, okay, I'm going to buy Ghost of Yotei, and if I buy it on PS6 or PS5, I'll be able to own it on PC. It's just what you see is what you get. Obviously, it doesn't mean that those guys are going to go day one with a lot of these releases. Could, but it doesn't necessarily mean that, and I don't think they are. But along with what's happening with the PlayStation Portal, which is the last couple of weeks, they turned on the ability to stream. It's been in beta, but it's for everybody now. If you buy one, it's $200. If you own a game, you no longer have to play it directly from your PlayStation 5. I don't even think you need to own a PlayStation 5. As long as the game is part of the streaming service and you own the PlayStation Portal, you could go out and buy Astrobot, for example, which is one of the streaming games, and you could play on your $200 PlayStation Portable Astrobot streaming directly from the cloud without it having to go through your actual PlayStation 5. And that was the reason I always thought Portal was stupid. It did well enough, and people who own it seem to love it, but I'm like, why would I want to fucking do it wasn't for me. Let's just say that. And this isn't for me yet either, because I rarely go outside, but I here's where I think they're going with this. I think one of two things is going to be happening. Right now, remote play only works for the Portal. There was a time when, I mean, you can do remote play on you can do remote play on a lot of things, but what that means is you still have to have your PS5, right? There was a time, though, where their streaming went right to your PC, and you may or may not have had to own the PS5. I don't remember, but they got rid of that, whatever that was. I think they are basically going to be selling the PS5 and PS6 and onward versions of their games. And if you have anything that can take the streaming, whether it's the Portal, whether it's a PC, whether it's a phone, you can play that version of the game on your PC. Now, it doesn't mean it's the PC version. There will still be a PC version coming. And that's probably why they're saying, okay, if you buy Ghost of Yotei, or let's call it Ghost of Yotei 2, and you buy it and you can stream it day one on your PC, but you're still streaming the PS6 version. You're not streaming a PC game because they don't have it yet. It's not ready, and they don't want to release it day one. But when it comes out, you will just own it, right? I could see that being where they're going with this, which it's not, I think it's great. I think it's fucking great. And then the question obviously becomes, okay, but what is that going to do to the people who then are not going to buy their hardware, because they make the lion's share of money on their licensing from other games on their hardware. And the only thing I can think of is if this is actually what's happening, they're just kind of going, look, the worm has turned, things have changed, and the number of people who are probably going to buy Ghost of Yotei but don't want to play it on a PS6 are probably going to buy it on PC. Or they're probably never going to buy our hardware anyway. Yeah, well, it says, Rocker Matt says you can still stream games via cloud on PS Premium. I've tried it. It won't work. It basically, I can show you the article because I thought the same thing. But then it basically says, but you still have to have the PS5 that streams into. Like, I can't turn on my PC, and I have the highest tier of PlayStation Plus, whatever it is. And it used to be I could stream a game directly from the cloud, but now I can't. I have to turn my PlayStation on, right? So, I mean, that could be what's going on. On the flip side, it could be they think maybe what'll happen is if you buy it on PC like Helldivers and you start to get into the PlayStation ecosystem, they sweeten it by going, hey, if you buy a PS5 or a PS6, you don't have to rebuy Helldivers. It could be as simple as that, but I don't think so with what's happening with the Portal. And somebody do me a favor and check into Rocker Matt's. Yeah, exactly. Robert says it was called PS Now. Right. That was the one that I was talking about. But I have not found any evidence of what you're saying. Because I was excited this morning. And I started looking for it, but so far it says no. You have to have the PS5 one unless you have the Portal. Okay. It will be awesome if cross-buy and day one games come to PlayStation. Xbox Play Anywhere is the best feature. It really is, and I think it's just become so. Once you get used to it, once you get used to it, it's very difficult to go back. It's bizarre to think about the fact that I own the game, and if I'm playing it somewhere else or on a different kind of system, I have to start again. It's absolutely bizarre. Eternal, I just don't agree. Eternal says, I think this will just be a way to bridge a gap when people can't access their main console. That's what they have now, though. If that was the case, then I can go into a store right now, and I can purchase Astrobot, and I can purchase a Portal, and I can play it without having a console. If it was a way to bypass the system you already own because you can't reach an Eternal, I don't think that Portal story would be that big of a deal, but it is. Invader, thank you so much. I appreciate that. We all appreciate that. Dropping 5 memberships. This is the way we play the game, folks. Riz Cool, Sephiroth, Frosty Delights, Axiom, and Busted Horn Blacksmith Shop have all gotten memberships to the goddamn channel. That means in just a little bit when we go over to Arc Raiders and Giantess Playground and watch a couple brand new game trailers and turn the thing to members only, you guys can go with us if you like. But let's get to the bottom of this Rocker Matt mystery, because I'm going to tell you, I don't have the article up, but I'll tell you what I Googled. Let's see. Can I play remote play PS5 on PC if I don't have the console? And it came up and said, no, you cannot play PS5 remote play on a PC without a PS5 console, because the process requires a physical PS5 to stream from. You may be able to stream some games from the cloud if you sub to PlayStation Premium. Okay, now I understand. You're not talking about the same set of games that I am. I'm talking about, like, where is it? Okay, I'm sorry. I was getting these things confused because I'm looking at the games on this list, and I'm like, those games are not on this list. Let me bring them up real quick. There's a whole list of them. Like, there's PS5 games on there. Where was that fucking thing? Here you go. Jaffe, it's not called, it's cloud streaming. Well, I'm mixing up the, I am. Okay, so here's the thing. So PlayStation Portal levels up with cloud streaming. So Astrobot, Final Fantasy Rebirth, Borderlands 4, Resident Evil 4, Yote, those are not on the PlayStation Plus Premium. That's what I'm talking about. Those are available on cloud streaming to the Portal. But these, correct me if I'm wrong, Rocker Matt, these are not available. Like, if you wanted to go right now, and I have PlayStation Premium, I couldn't play Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, could I? Unless I had the PlayStation 5 on and I owned it, or I owned the Portal, right? But this is enough to make me consider a Portal, and I don't even need one. I don't even fucking need one. It's just cool. But anyway, it's good to see, as much as a lot of people... Well, yeah, that's different. Eternal says, I still don't think core gamers will abandon native hardware to go entirely cloud. Yeah, I don't think that's the plan right now. It'll happen eventually. But I absolutely do think that, you know, them going and saying, hey, if you want to play a PS5 game day one, you can stream it to your PC. I think that is coming. I don't think this stream thousands of games, no PS5 required, but you have to have the portal. Maybe they are. Maybe they're like, no, you still have to have our hardware, but I don't know. You can stream games you own on the PS Portal now as long as you pay for premium. Right, if you buy the game, but you don't have to have a PS5 is what I'm saying. PK says most of these are on GeForce Now anyway. Yeah, but not the Sony first-party games. That's the only reason this has me a little excited, because I want to play those games, but I don't want to buy a PS5 Pro. I don't want to buy another game console ever again. The only one that kind of got me excited was looking at the Christmas stuff on Nintendo. So, okay, PS Portal shows another handheld is desirable, says Billy Michael. Yeah, people seem to like it. Alien Bobcorn, it's not, streaming games is not awful for everyone, but for the people it's awful for, yeah, it's fucking terrible. Excuse me, let's talk about Arc Raiders real quick. Arc Raiders is the belle of the ball right now. It's sitting at an 84 Metacritic, sitting at an 85 Metacritic user score. It is delightful. It is excellent. I just want to talk about, I just want to tell you a couple things. I first want to talk about why I love it, and then I want to see what you guys think, and I also want to see what you think about this Eurogamer review that came out today, which I thought was kind of bad shit. Okay. So, excuse me, I've been moving, so I have all the dust kicked up and allergies. Okay, so first off, the core game, if you don't know, you can play multiplayer. You are out there in a world with a lot of other people at times, but you can also just go solo. That's what I've been doing. I will be playing with members later today, though. The game itself is, the loop is basically you all people have been pushed underground. There are these things called arcs that are AI robots above, and the Arc Raiders are the ones that come up from the surface, humans, and try to get scraps and shit and bring them back down below to build out their kit and go back out and get better. That's the flow of it. And it looks great. It sounds great. It's third person. And while it's not Tomb Raider or Uncharted, the ability to navigate the environment is really fun. You can kind of clamber and climb over, rocks and a lot of just like piles of junk. And it really does feel satisfying to move around the space and go sliding around on your butt and shoot people and stuff like that. It has proximity chat, which is great. Now, I am not a Tarkov guy. I've never even played it. So some of this stuff that I'm, spazzing over is probably because it's new to me, but maybe it's like, dude, that was in DayZ, that was in Tarkov. Cool, but not to me. And maybe like we were talking earlier, this game has been more streamlined, so it's easier to get people in than those games, right? So I'm finally took the time to discover it, and it's fucking awesome. The proximity chat is really cool, though. I've played it in things like Repo and Peak, but now, especially, you're out there, and if you get, it's really tense. It's got the same flavor as Souls games, even though when you die, you can't go back and get your stuff. So if you're out there and you get killed either by an AI or another player, they can, you ain't bringing anything back for the most part, and they can loot your body. So you don't really know who to trust if you're not playing with your squad. And so a lot of times you'll be talking to somebody. Like yesterday, I was talking to somebody. It seemed like we were going to work together to get to the extraction point, and then halfway to waiting for the elevator to come, he just shoots me, and I'm like, what the fuck? And we're able to talk, and he's like, dude, I just really wanted your gun. And I lost everything, right? But then today there were people I met that were super fucking nice, and they were talking, and I'm crouching in the bushes because it's prox chat, so I could hear them talking like, a little bit of ways. And so I've got my gun trained on them the whole time, just trying to figure out what I want to do with these people. It's very, very exciting. Wayne B says, I never understood the hype for the game, played the beta and hated it, thought it was boring. Yeah, I mean, isn't that crazy? I was never... It was never on my radar at all, but I am loving the shit out of it. Think it's great. I think it's fucking great. So there was a review that came out today though. This was interesting. So the review, like I said, it's sitting at an 84, very beloved game. A lot of people talking about, this being a game of the year contender, whether it is or not, who knows, who really cares, but that's kind of the conversations around it, given, how much people seem to really like it. Right. And this guy comes out with a 2 out of 5 star review, and it's fine. I mean, he can do whatever the fuck he wants. But it's a weird review, but it's also, he's kind of not wrong. And I guess it depends on what you go to reviews for, because he basically says the game's really, really, really good. He likes it, but he says, here's the problem. And he also talks about in this article, which I thought was a nice little section where he says it's the first game in a long time to bring our better angels to the fore, and is perhaps the game where such behavior is most prevalent. Talking about the fact that there are people who will, it's much more friendly environment right now. People more often than not won't shoot you. They'll help you. And that's pretty cool. Jay Styles says, I was playing alongside a random this morning. He died to a leaped at the end. I felt so bad, but he had some fire weapons that I had to take. Yeah. When they're dead, they don't know their bodies are being looted. They assume. But there are things the game does to, motivate, I think, a kinder environment, but there's a lot of people that are like, taking advantage of that, which I think adds to the richness of the game. It's pretty cool. But here's where he gets a little interesting. He talks about the AI voices. So they hired real actors to give their voices, and then they use AI to use those voices so they can write lines, right? And so even though they did pay and credit Fred for doing the voice of Mark, once that was done, they can give Mark thousands of new lines without going through all the rigmarole of recording, and it's in the game, and it's cheaper, it's faster, it's almost instant, right? And so he doesn't like that. He says NPC voices are not central to the experience, so I don't think this argument, because the AI guys were basically, the guys at Embark were saying it uses AI voices so the studio can go quicker. But he doesn't like that. He says they've made so much money on the game, they could have hired a team of live voice actors and still made a lot of profit. So he's dinging it for that. He says at the same time, is Embark's use of AI voices sufficient to compromise the game, given they're only a small part? I mulled over this for a while, and the more I thought about it, he says, the angrier I became. Because yes, using AI voices does compromise ARC raiders, not just ethically, but artistically too. Okay, and this is his point. He says, the contradiction here between ARC Raiders themes and the manner of its creation is so glaring that it makes me want to scream. You made a game about the tragedy of humans being replaced by robots while replacing humans with robots. It displays a total lack of awareness, or worse, willful ignorance of ARC Raiders' own semantics. For ARC Raiders to ride the wave of human sociability all the way to the bank while also being so contemptuous of the thing that makes us social animals in its own workflow, carving up human voices and reassembling them like a digital Victor Frankenstein, demonstrates a lack of artistic integrity that I find impossible to ignore. However smartly designed the game is, I cannot recommend it because Embark does not value the thing that makes it special. So, I mean, again, I have a feeling, and from what I've seen so far, it seems like my feeling is correct, that there are people who are going to tear this guy a new asshole because he's like, you're giving it a bad review just because you don't like this moral thing, or because, and I kind of get the anger there, in the sense that it's like, okay, just because you don't like AI, fine, but like I'm playing the game, I didn't even know the voices were AI. I had no clue the voices were AI, right? So it didn't affect the game. The fact that he has this data may have affected the game, or certainly affected his ability to enjoy the game, but it's like, dude, that's not what you should be reviewing. But he's not wrong about the thematic, and that's where it gets a little weird to me, right? Because he's like, it doesn't affect the game, and maybe he shouldn't have rated it 2 out of 5 because your job is to, rate the product. But at the same time, he's not wrong. Which is, if you're going to make a game, it's kind of like that guy who got upset with, what was that other game? The Outer Worlds 2, and he gave it a shit review because he's like, the whole game is about anti-capitalism. And it's being made and funded by the biggest company in the world, or one of the biggest companies in the world. I mean, I think there's value to bringing those things up. I don't know if it makes a lot of sense to put it in the actual product review. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see if it, I'm still playing it. I don't care. Eddie says, I appreciate knowing the game uses AI, so I don't support him, but I feel the score might be too harsh if that's the only major problem with the game. Right. And it's not even a problem. It's a subjective problem. But again, it's a review. So I guess, Tyler says that's like giving the movie Goodfellas a bad review because they curse a lot in the movie and didn't like De Niro putting ketchup on his pasta. To an extent. It's not exactly like that, but to an extent. Eternal, that's interesting. He says one could argue the AI voices are part of the machines taking over. Yeah, maybe that gets less the better you do, but I don't think that's happening in this game. So, but it's possible. All right, but anyway, we will be playing that in about 20 minutes on the stream. Maybe a little later with members. If you want to play, let me know when we get to that part of the show. But I am loving it. Tyler says it's good game, not game of the year material. It's fun to shake people down for their gear and the tension of not trusting anyone. Yeah, I mean, game of the year is subjective, but for me, what I can tell you is it is a delight. I'm having a great time playing it. Wayne says so much performative bullshit in these reviews. Really? I mean, is that performative? I mean, he's got a point, right? I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean your review score should reflect it. But, it is a game that fundamentally is about AI being dangerous to humans, and they're using AI, and in that, they're not supporting humans. I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's as cut and dried as a lot of people are making it, even though I agree it probably shouldn't have hit the score. Okay. I want to talk briefly about this because I found it fascinating. Colin's company, Lilymo, put out a trailer today and a demo. I don't know if you've played it. Saint Slayer's Spear of Sacrilege is clearly a Castlevania-inspired retro game. It comes out in 2026. The demo is out today. I played through the demo. I thought it was a lot of fun. Let me see if I can get it loop. No, I can't make it loop. Okay, come on, man. Oh, there we go. What is it doing? It's a lot of fun. Nothing, groundbreaking at all, but it's a very, very solid, so far, Castlevania retro thing, and I like it. And I think it's gonna do well. But here's what it got me thinking, because there was also a game, and here's the point. If this game were to come out and it wasn't associated with Colin, and nothing's wrong with that. I mean, that's part of the business model. This would get lost in the shuffle, right? That's on my mind because this game as well. There's a New York Times article that came out today about this game that I played and I finished. I thought it was great. I think it's called Spoiled. And it's about this woman. She lives on a boat. She was raised on a boat. And she made the game on her boat. And that's kind of her gimmick. That's kind of her hook. And the game is about being on a boat and cleaning up oil spills and stuff. And this is what they say in the article. Last year, almost 19,000 games were released on Steam. Small developers with no marketing budget can get lost at sea. And it's just, the reason I bring it up, here it is right here. Spilled is what it's called. It's really, really good. It's really, really fun. Nothing amazing, but it's pleasant and it's got a lot of, it's very pretty and it's enjoyable. But her whole gimmick is, hey, I'm a girl making this game living on a boat. And if it wasn't for that, this would get lost as well. And it just kind of makes me think about, how many games that we're never going to know about, right? That we're never going to fucking know about that are great. Just because there's just, there's no way to know what in the fuck is out there. There's no way. I mean, I would guess anybody watching this stream has no idea this game exists. And I'm not saying you want to buy it now because but it is just weird to me that so much is getting made that this is the kind of stuff you have to do. And then you could say, well, what about Ball Pit? I mean, Ball Pit does have Devolver pushing it, and that's helpful. So, maybe you got to get a publisher. I don't fucking know that has the deeper pockets than Lilymo or this lady did, but it is cool. It is cool. And I do see a lot of developers in the indie space saying, oh, I hate marketing and I hate PR. But you gotta get people, you gotta get their attention. Yeah. Her gimmick quote is, that she lives on a boat. And she made a game about a boat. And people showed up for it. I mean, it's not like sold a bajillion copies, but I think they said it sold like 50,000 or 100,000. So she's made about 350K off it so far. So yeah, Robert Odell's Steam curation is getting pretty good. It is. And that will help. I actually went to ChatGPT today and I said, tell me what games, I'm like, based on what you know about me by using you a lot, tell me what games you think that I would like. And at first it was giving me stuff for the stream. And then I said, no, don't worry about the stream. I just want you to give me something that you think I will like, of a game that's come out in the last 6 months. And, some of it was pretty good. Some of it I didn't agree with, but yeah, maybe AI will absolutely solve this problem. And it'll be, cause I own this, I own Tiny Glade. I've played this game, Grun. So maybe that is what it's going to take. Cause there's all these games that people just don't fucking know about. Robert Adele says I get a lot of games shown to me on Steam based on my interest. Sure. But I mean, even that though, I mean, when you go through Steam's, what is it called? Their queue that's selected for you. There's probably about 4 games out of 12 that usually connect with me, which I guess is better than nothing. PK says it's okay. Doom, Ninja Gaiden 4, and Outer Worlds came out and people forgot because of lack of marketing. Well, yeah, but I think what it is though is there's so many games that aren't those big games that just like Ball Pit. I mean, I'm very curious how that's going to do. I know people who are playing it are loving it, and it's on Game Pass, so there's no real reason if you have Game Pass not to at least try it. But I'm curious if that game is getting a lot of play. I hope it is, because it's fucking great. All right. Here's what I want to do. I'm going to try this. I'm going to try this and see if we can get it working. So I'm going to open up the phone lines, and I want to do it with an actual phone call instead of the usual way, because I find it easier to make it work for people. So give me one moment, okay? I would appreciate it. All right, so calling in now to the service. Okay. All right, one second. Okay. So here we go. So I think this works. You'll have to let me know if you want to call in. The call-in number is, put it up top here, 888-910-7235. Call in and we can talk about pretty much anything you want. Mostly the topics of the show, but I don't give a fuck. We'll talk about whatever. And then after that, we'll jump on over to the members only version of the stream. If you'd like to become a member, it'll cost you $4.99 a month. Today, we're going to be playing a game called Giantess Playground, I think, which I showed you guys a trailer of that earlier. Where is that? And we're also going to be playing 2 or 3 runs of Arc Raiders with members. Here's the Giantess game. I'll let this run in the background while we're chatting. But it's literally kind of what it sounds like. You play a Giantess. When someone makes a conscious decision to buy a game, says Eternal, they're deciding to invest their time and money in it. The problem is games launching on subservices, they can easily be lost and forgotten. Yeah, but I think that's easily countered by the fact that the number of people who try something because it's on a subservice where they wouldn't have tried it before is probably greater than the number of people that that you're talking about that really make a conscious choice to play that specific game. I could be wrong, but I can tell you there are games that people have played and I have played that I never would have tried if it wasn't like sitting on a subscription service. So I know Algorithm says Stillroom works for the most part with all the data they have, but this was a critic's responsibility to make gems known. But even critics were annoyed there are too many games. Oh, well, yeah. And I mean, you know, to be fair, there are too many fucking games. And they're a business, right? So for a business to cover a small little game like Spilled, they're probably like, well, yeah, we could pay that writer, you know, 5 days or 4 days or 3 days worth of time to play the game thoroughly and review it and this and that and the other. But it's only going to get like 10 clicks or whatever, you know, not 10, but you know, so why would we cover it? Right. They have to kind of, they're not just doing a service. I mean, that's the second part. The first part is their business, right? Eternal, going back to talking about playing games on the, on subservices. See, this is why I love subservices. He says, yeah, but how many stick with a game for long periods if you're playing it on a subservice? Isn't that the joy? Isn't that the fact that makes the people who make video games need to get better at making video games? Because it's like, look, if you can't, and we've seen this, we've heard actual Obsidian has talked about this with the games that they're making and people making Game Pass games. You have to take into account that you are now making games for people who have no buy-in, which means the game has to stand on its own. It can't have this false support system of like, well, I paid for it. Well, I got it from the store. I downloaded it. Might as well fucking play it some more because I own it now, right? That should never be a reason you keep playing a game. At least that's what I think. Okay, so the number is on the screen, I think. Let me know if it's not working, but hopefully it is. 888-910-7235 is the number if you want to call in. Talk about whatever you want to talk about in the world of gaming and whatnot. Would love to have you. The subs are competing with the free-to-play model at that point because both are technically persistently online, available to try whenever. Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure, but that's all the games are... all the games are competing at that level. I mean, every game has to deal with kind of the nightmare that is everything else. And that is why, I think anyway, that, you know, people, I don't get why people were getting so mad at Microsoft the other day when they said, you know, we're competing with TikTok. And it's like, they are. They're competing with everything. So, you know, it's getting really fucking hard to get people's attention. You know how much shit's coming out in TV and movies and video games, and I still read, so fucking books. I mean, it's insane. Okay. If you get bored with the game on a subservice, that was still going to happen if you bought it. And it happens all the time. How many games are actually finished? Right. 100%. Like I started playing, what is that game called? I started playing Outer Worlds 2. And I did not care for it. And I'm glad I didn't buy it. You know, I'm glad I didn't have to spend any fucking money on the thing because I will never come back to it again, and I'm moving on with my fucking life. I'm grateful for that. There are no companies that can review Steam games and discover good and interesting games for marketing. That is the catch-22, Mech, which is, you know, I mean, there's a site I go to, which I love, called like Alpha Beta Gamer, that tells you all these amazing demos coming and stuff like that. But you're not wrong. I mean, you know, it's in no one's vested interest to cover these small games when they're small games. And so it eats itself, right? So I understand people don't finish games anyway, says Eternal, but I think it's more likely when someone doesn't go out and buy a game they were looking forward to and intend to put time into. Yeah, I get it, but I think that is a crutch. And I'm not saying you're wrong that it doesn't work. It works brilliantly, and it has forever. But I think gamers should push back on that. I think developers should be like, don't take our crutch away. Thank God we have this crutch. But I think gamers should be like, fuck your crutch. Entertain me, motherfucker. It's your job to keep me interested. Don't let this manufactured sense of value that really has nothing to do with the product you've sold me contribute to that. That's what I think. Robert Odell says, a friend gave me a copy of Perfect Weapon for PlayStation 1 for my birthday once. I felt obligated to play it. Oh yeah, it's a terrible game. Hey, Tech, if you're watching, do me a favor, call in. I want to make sure this call-in system is working. 888-910-7235. And let's see. If not a problem. We'll switch over to the members version of the show, and we'll jump into Giantess Sandbox or whatever it's called, and then we'll play some Arc Raiders for a little bit. But yeah, so I kind of figured that my next game that I really get into would be Expedition 33, but I don't know now. Arc Raiders is taking up a lot more of my fucking time. I'm not entirely sure if I'm gonna have the time or not. To jump into that, but maybe. Let's see. I want to make sure that's okay. Connected host. Okay. Yeah. All right. Tech, are you still there? Let me know. Let me know if that's working for it. Okay. Is there any way to bring back the old style God of War? Well, there is not God of War specifically. There is a game coming out from China that was just revealed last week that looks pretty good, that looks very similar to Prince Persian God of War. And there has been the 2.5D rumored God of War, but I don't know if they ever do a remake. Yeah, Rocker Matt, you're right. Black Ops 7 coming soon. Yeah, Anna G, please call. Let's see if it's working. Thoughts on Halo Infinite being sunset, says Danny. I love playing it. Most fun game ever for Halo. It's free and people still won't give it a shot. I loved it. I played through and finished the campaign, and I played a lot of the multiplayer. I thought it was great. But, you know, part of its challenge was being on a system that, you know, not PC, but being on the Xbox that a lot of people were not happy with. And I also think it didn't evolve beyond the core fans, and it just... I don't know. I mean, I think it's right they need to move on because it's clearly not working. I thought once they revealed Forge mode for that game, it was going to blow up because, like you said, it's free. It's really good. It's cross-play, but it's not like it was a bomb, but it wasn't a massive
Tutor flaps.
a massive thing.
Tutor flaps.
You're doing it! You're going the river!
Don't know why it's doing that sound. I don't understand, says Carlos. Thank you for the super chat, buddy. Why people on the internet get weird about not owning things on a subscription. You're not being forced to buy it on your own. I don't understand why people get weird about not owning things. You're not being forced to buy it. Well, I think they want to own it, I guess is what it is. But I don't either. I certainly don't feel that way. But the internet's people are always upset at something on the internet. Hey, it's working. Is this Anna? Oh, wait, hang on a second. The audio, one moment. The audio needs to go to a different place. 1 second. All right, so the good news is the phone shit's working. The bad news is I have to change where the audio is being sent to so you guys can hear it. All right. Okay. All right, do me a favor. Say something real quick, caller. Say something. Oh, okay, weird. Why is it coming through that? I don't want it to come through that. All right. Let me give you guys a different phone number. Thanks, caller, for helping me. I'll put up a new number. All right, hang on. Let me get rid of this thing, and I'm going to give you guys a new number. All right. Try this number if you would. Okay. Let's try this one. Tell me if this works better. 619-537-9279. Let me know if that's working. In the meantime, let me get your chat back up here. But yeah, Carlos, I just think, one of the things I learned a lot lately is just the internet. They're upset about everything. But I don't think most people have that concern. I think most people are absolutely fine with it. Wayne B says you will own nothing and like it. I get it. Some people have a problem with it, and that's fine. I respect that. But, I don't know. I don't. If you are a collector, there is no right answer, right? It doesn't fucking matter. If you like collecting things, I respect that. But for me, I'm with you. I don't care. Mike says, Jaffe, if I went back in time, and told 20-year-old me that I would be chatting to you through a live stream, it would blow my mind. Oh, you goddamn right. It's insane. If I told 10-year-old me, 12-year-old me that saw, the amazing work professional filmmakers had to do to get somebody in an environment like this, and now I just grabbed a green screen and hung it up with thumbtacks, my mind would be blown. It should be working now, but you got to call this new number. It's a different number. 619-537-9279. Will you call that Anna G, and let me know if that works. I would appreciate it. But no, Anna, I don't think you were on, because it's a long story. It doesn't matter. Okay. But anyway, yeah, so I am very much looking forward to getting back into Ark. I have to assume there will be a point where, like, if I'm still playing Ark Raiders like I'm playing it now in a week, I would be very surprised, because I have to assume at one point the loop is going to start to run its course. I will say this. As a guy who used to sit in pitches, and people would come in when I was at Sony, and they would pitch us games, and they would have no idea. We would be like, yeah, but what do you do? I'm very happy that Game Loop, the gameplay loop, is becoming kind of a core part of a lot of people's vernacular now. And some people are complaining about it. It's like, oh, you can see the loop. It's like, at least you fucking know what your loop is, at least you have a fucking loop. And so the loop in Ark Raiders, I can see getting kind of, I know why here. Okay. One second, Anna G, here you go. Now it should work. 619-537-9279. The loop in Ark Raiders, I don't know if it's going to sustain me for more than a week or two, especially with Call of Duty coming out. But we'll see. But so far, I'm absolutely addicted to it, 100%. Wayne B says, I'm okay with digital only. Streaming I can't do yet, but when I'm able, I might never buy another device. Exactly. Again, I don't know about you guys. I know there are some collectors that miss owning movies or buying their movies, which you can still do. But I don't miss the fact, like we're going to watch this Del Toro movie pretty soon this week, Frankenstein. And I'm not sitting around going, oh, I'm bummed that I can't own that movie. Don't give a shit. Don't give a fucking shit. Hey, Jaffe, the Michael Jackson movie has hit 116 million views, the trailer. Will you give us a trailer reaction? Yeah, I'll give you one right now. I thought it was great. I mean, I love Michael Jackson. I don't know if the guy was a fucking freaky asshole or not. The court say he wasn't, and a lot of people say that those kids that sued him starting to look like maybe they or their parents had an agenda, so I hope he wasn't. But I will say, though, that as a fan of Michael Jackson, I think it looks great. But I don't know if that necessarily means it's going to be a great movie, Hey, it's Jaffe.
Hey, Jaffe.
Hey, Anna. Okay, it works. Can you let's do a test, Anna. Let's see if the audience can hear you. But what are you up to, Anna? What are you wearing?
Nothing much. Just here.
Sorry. Second question.
Watching.
You're doing what now?
Nothing. Just here.
Just here. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for those gifted members, buddy. We appreciate it.
Oh, no problem.
Are you at work right now, or are you home?
I'm home right now, thankfully.
Okay, good. Because you don't like your job, right? You don't enjoy it.
No, I hate it. I do have an interview on Wednesday, though.
What do you do right now? What's your job right now?
Security. I hate it.
Security, like tech security, or like you beat people up?
No, like security where you have to deal with people going in and out of gates and at a refinery.
Oh. Do you ever have to get rough with people?
No, I mean...
That would be hot, Anna.
Jaffe.
I don't know. All right. Cool, buddy. All right. Anything you want to talk about, or are you just helping me test out?
Well, I had a quick question. Okay.
Yeah, what you got?
You know, we were talking about what's the PS, is it the PS Pro, right? The
PS
console that you can take around.
The Portal, the PS Portal?
The Portal.
Yeah.
Portal, yes. Is that the one that you can, you don't have to play at the console?
That's correct.
Okay. So my friend has a PS4, and I was thinking about getting it for her, but I don't know if it's a good idea or not.
Wow.
She's a homebody, right? But her thing is she has a baby, and so she likes to play on the Nintendo Switch because it's portable for her. But I really want to get her into some of the PS4 games that I have.
Well, now, okay, so here's the question then. I don't know, and maybe somebody in the chat can tell me, because I know Remote Play started on the PS4. So I assume the PS Portal can stream from the PS4, but you need to make sure it can, because it may not be able to.
Okay, so that's what I was thinking.
So what I would say is if she doesn't have a PS5, though, you could get her the PlayStation Portal, which is $200. And what we were talking about, if her internet's good and she's close to a data center, she can stream a bunch of games that either she owns or with PlayStation Plus Premium without owning any hardware other than the Portal. Yeah, Manta says it's PS5 only. So if you want her to play PS4 games, you need to check if there are versions of those that will stream to the Portal. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because I wanted to get her into Red Dead Redemption 2, and I can't think of some of the other games I had in mind. But
let's see. I mean, I don't know if so. What you should do then is this: you should just Google if Google PS Premium and the streaming games on PS Premium. Those will go to the Portal, and some of those are PS4 games. I don't know if Red Dead 2 is on that list, but it might be. The other thing is check what games you can stream to the Portal that she could buy. So if she decided to go out and buy Red Dead 2 or Ghost of Yote, I do think Ghost of Yote will stream to the Portal if you own the game and you don't need the PS5.
Okay.
And also, you want to do a test and make sure she's close enough to a data center, because otherwise, streaming's not going to work for her. So it's kind of a pain if you're trying to surprise her.
Yeah, I'm gonna look into that because I know that she was thinking about it, but she didn't. I don't know if she ever really looked into it too much.
God, she's got a baby. It's although I played video games with my kid, when they were born, like 8 days old, sitting on my lap, and I'm playing, I think it was like Mario Kart Double Dash and shit. So you find a way,
Yeah, that's how she does it. She's got to I know this is TMI, but she has to breastfeed a lot, and so it's like the most convenient thing ever.
Yeah,
for her.
Absolutely. I don't have to breastfeed, but I would hold them and keep them from crying.
Yeah.
And watching or playing games is pretty good. All right, Miss Anna, thank you, buddy. Let us know what you decide. I think it's a nice gift.
Yeah. Thanks, Jaffe.
All right. Thanks for helping out, and thanks for the memberships. We'll see you soon.
All right. No problem. Bye.
There goes Miss Anna G off into the night. If you want to call in, 619-537-9279. A Steam Deck, Danny Ray, would be good as well. Jaffe, since the game is out now, you can play your interview clip from Mortal Kombat. I could, but I don't own it. I did a 2-hour interview for the Mortal Kombat collection, and it got chopped up. And so I haven't gone through all of it. So I couldn't tell you what they used and what's in there. But I would agree for Anna, her friend might enjoy a Steam Deck or the ROG Ally more, just because you can play a lot more games, and you can play not the Sony games, but you can play a lot of the big games, but you can play a lot more of the indie stuff too. And you don't have to worry about if it's on PS Plus or if it's not on PS Premium, but it is, if you buy it, it's streaming to the portal. It's a much simpler system. More expensive too, though. You don't know if you can play multiplayer on the PS Cloud, but Red Dead Redemption 2 is on Xbox Cloud. Okay, it's not on Game Pass, but okay. Do you think they'll make Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks 2? Probably not. Darkness. But what I will tell you is I had never played Special Forces, and I got the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection. And, for the time, it was like a 2004 game. Pretty fucking great. And I was playing it last week. And I'm like, I didn't want to play it for more than an hour, but that's kind of cool. And Shaolin Monks, Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks, did Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks even come out? I know it became something else, right? Did they ever release Shaolin Monks? I know they did Sub-Zero and they did the Special Forces, right? I have a Starlink. It's fast enough for streaming, but it's only Wi-Fi, so I can't use it for remote play. Maybe I'll try the streaming only and see if it works. Yeah, Robert Odell, you always need to test it. Like if you're even considering, what's the fucking thing called? Something like GeForce. GeForce Now, which I love, has a whole thing that you can go in and just run a test and see if that's something that's going to work for you. And it doesn't cost you anything before you even pull the trigger and try it. You can also buy like a day pass and stuff like that. So, all right, fellas. Well, look, here's what we're going to do now. If we don't want to do any more call-ins, that's fine. There we go. That's the call-in for the day. At least we know it works now. I'll give you a couple of more minutes, and then here's what we're going to do. We are going to switch this over to, one moment. We are going to switch this over to a members-only stream. So if you've considered a membership, now's the time. We are going to play 2 games. We're going to look at a couple of new trailers. I'll tell you the trailers we got coming up. See if you're interested in such shenanigans. One moment. We are going to be looking at Agefeld High, which is a trailer for this kind of bully game coming out. We're going to be looking at a trailer for Clean the Snow, Goodnight Universe, a Castlevania horror trailer, and a couple other ones. And then we're going to jump into Giantess Playground, and we're going to then jump into about 3 to 4 runs of Ark Raiders. So that is what's coming up. In Alex says, Jaffe, what about the Michael Jackson? What the fuck, the goddamn thing? Michael Jackson trailer response. I just gave it to you. I thought it was good. I mean, there's nothing to really do with it. Like I can't tell you if it's a good movie or not. Anton Fuqua is his name, is the director. who made a lot of great movies. Made Training Day. I love the Equalizer movies with Denzel. He made all 3 of those. So I expect it to be a good film, but, nothing in the trailer is anything other than, do you like Michael Jackson? Here's a guy who looks and sounds like Michael Jackson. Cool, huh? Okay, see the movie. I mean, the trailer doesn't really tell us if it's going to be a good film or not. Am I going to play Dispatch? I think so, Mark. A lot of people are raving about it. Can I do a video request? Yeah, Darkness. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to play it, but tell me what you want to see. Yeah, Training Day is fucking amazing. Love that movie. And I love the Equalizer movies, man. They're fucking great. They're really, really fun. I don't know if I would call them guilty pleasure movies or not, but they are delightful. I enjoy them a lot. Okay, 1 second. All right, well, there we go, fellas. That has been the show for everybody. We will be back tomorrow with another show, same time. Then Wednesday, we're back with Gaming Exposed with me and Gene. There'll be some new videos going up this week. So look, thanks for spending some time with us. But for now, we are going to switch over to members only and watch some trailers and play some games. So if this is where we part, thank you for being part of our community. And we'll see you on the next show, hopefully. But again, all it takes is a little click of the button and a little reach for the wallet, and you too can hang out in the members only after party. Here we go. In fact, you know what? Here we go. 5 minutes. It says it's happening in 5 minutes. 5 minutes till you switch to members only. So you got 5 minutes if you want to get yourself a membership. Yeah, Gene Wesley Snipes. That's right. You goddamn right. I'm trying to think of the holiday movies, though. I know, Alex, that Michael Jackson movie is coming out next year. But you know what I want to see? I want to see, what's that fucking movie? There's a movie coming out on the 14th that I really want to see. Hang on. What is that thing called? 1 second. What is it called? 14th. And then I saw a trailer for a Mel Gibson movie, The Running Man. The Running Man is coming out, which I want to see. I hear it's really good. I kind of want to see Now You See Me, Now You Don't, but I'll probably wait for that to stream. But I'll probably see The Running Man in the theater. And then I want to see, what's the other one called? The Mel Gibson hunting thing, where he's with his daughter and some woman. The trailer just came out yesterday. And I know Gibson's problematic, but I like the guy. I like his movies. You know, I don't care. I mean, I care, but I'm just not going to not enjoy his art just because he's possibly somebody I wouldn't want to deal with in real life. Like, I thought he was great in Daddy's Home 2. I watch Daddy's Home 2 every goddamn Christmas season, and I fucking love it. And if you've seen that movie, that's the movie I turn on to fuck with my dog. Ace will be sitting on the couch, and I'll turn on the scene where the wolves are sniffing around John Lithgow. It gets him every time. He just hops up, and you'd think that, you know, they're in the house with him, and he's got to attack him. It's great. And funny. Jaffe, when are we going to get another movie night or a movie wheel? I don't know. I really don't know that answer. Madhouse is kind of on hiatus right now, and we're trying to focus mostly on the game stuff. So if we can kind of tie it to the game stuff, maybe soon. Yes, I will absolutely be playing Black Ops this week. Also letting you know, I have started doing just sort of general game streams over on Twitch. If you're interested, follow me over there. Just because I don't like it to hit the algorithm here. Because a lot of times I'll play stuff like I'm playing like Gravelord, which I love. But, you know, it's one of those games. No one's going to show up for that. Then YouTube's going to be like, hey, let's not tell people about his next live stream. So it's too risky now. But if you do want to follow me over on Twitch, I'll give you the link in the chat right here. Because that's where I've been doing more game streaming as of late. Here it is. Yeah, Rocker Matt loves his movie nights, man. I like him too, but But no, I'm very much looking forward to Black Ops. All right, let me turn off the phone real quick. Okay. All right, great. Great. By the way, Jaffe, there's a massive update to download for Call of Duty. For the new one, you mean? Okay, I'm going to have to do that then, I guess. That's, I would love to just stream it, but I'm not going to stream it because most of my Call of Duty is multiplayer. That's what I love about it now. The last campaign I was very disappointed in. I thought it was going to be much more, because I like the theme and I like the setting and stuff. I got to the part where Bill Clinton was doing the fundraising thing or whatever, and I just couldn't get past that section. I was just like, yeah, I'm over this. So hopefully the next one will scratch the itch, I guess. Thank you, Anna. Anna says, don't forget to like the stream. You goddamn right. Don't forget, you are 41 seconds away from basically looking at some amazing game trailers and playing a game where you are a giantess and then playing Arc Raiders. Come on, man. Let's get the members going. I don't know. I don't care. I mean, I care, but I mean, you either want to be a member or you don't. I've already talked about it enough. Here's the important thing. She's a giantess, man. The update, 96 gigs. Good God almighty, man. I mean, leave me alone. What the fuck you guys... I mean, the one thing I will say about that series, though, which is... it's about to switch over. Let's see what happens. I've never done this before. 3, 2, 1, and... Okay. Are we members only? I don't know. Okay, wait. Something's happening.